Welcome to this video about TalEction, digitizing talent selection and management with digital twins and smart algorithms. My name is Hans-Petter Ramstad and I'll be the host of this video session. We'll start off by going through the key concepts of TalEction and then followed by a short demo and some tastes of what is inside the solution itself. So let's take high-level look at it. The solution contains two concepts around digital twins. You have the digital employee twin, the personal record, and then you have the digital employer twin, the job record. And these are populated through what we call data collectors, which can be wizards, it can be surveys, it can be tests of different kinds, games and other things. And then between these digital twins, you have the magical machine, the TalEction platform algorithms that are able to connect the right elements from the employer to the right elements of the employee side. And in that way, we can act as a matchmaker. And this matchmaking process is AI driven and it's bias free. So let's dive into more details. Here you see that to the right you have the employee twin, to the left the employer twin. So the employee twin, we use standard type tests for personality, for example, Big Five test. We use LinkedIn as a source. We use different type of intelligence tests, fluid, crystallized, and we use games. On the left side, we use different types of surveys and wizards to collect information about the context, the company, and the job in question. And then in order to connect these two, you can select what type of algorithms you want to apply, for example, in a recruitment situation. So you can select to focus on organization, on the role, on the strategy, task pattern, etc. Then you set your risk profile, and then the system automatically categorizes the candidates as they do the different activities and populate their twins into high potential, some risk, and high risk candidate categories. From this, you can also dive into details of team model, of leadership style match, etc. etc. So there is everything from a match score, which is a number, down to details of the different tests that you can use in the recruitment project, for example. Moving on and opening up the digital twins on each side of the magic machine. You can see on the employee side, you have the person profile containing background, which is personal data, education, job experience, and special skills. And then you have the more potential focused elements about the work experience pattern, cognitive, emotional, social, and compound skills. And all these skill sets, they are aligned with the OECD and the World Economic Forum outlook for the future job market. On the left side, you have the employer twins, which can be broken down in business model and foundation models. So you have the business KPIs, the value set, the organization culture, maturity, and strategy. And then you have more structural elements like organization structure, team roles, leadership style. You have geolocation, and then more detailed in this industry type things, function you're going into, area of responsibility, task pattern, etc., etc. And then we use different algorithms to connect these on each side. And that you can see here, where we have taken value sets from the employee twin and connecting that to the personality pattern for a candidate for a job, for example. And here you can see that the value set of this company is solution oriented, focused on long-term, reflective, change-oriented, and crafty. And then you put up some of the way these connect to the 5 main factors of the big 5 personality model. To the right, you see more details as to some of these are negatively affected and some are positively affected. And then we apply normalized statistical models in order to calculate the match score based on these connections. And this is basically the algorithms that are used in the solution. So here you can see that there are 6 different type of products that we are offering to individuals, and individuals have free lifetime access to the platform. They're not paying anything, and they get access to these services. And that goes everything from data collection. You have the smart CV, where we use the different data elements in a clever way. We can look at that in the demo afterwards. We have indexes where you score yourself if you are a good founder or a good salesperson, etc. We provide career advice, we provide brain training or skills training, and we also are in the process of developing what we call friends recruiting. On the company side, you have these 8 different products, and compensation and change, and to some extent right sizing, are in the process of being designed and developed as we speak, while the other ones are mature and are being used with several clients and in several pilots. So the same data collection, you have the recruitment, run AI supported selection for talent. You can do assessments and development. You have the skills training as you have for individuals, but here you can group it into several individuals into teams. You have the readiness concept, where you actually can assess if a department or group are ready to make a change, to succeed with a change. And then you have the right sizing, which is all about designing a company around the individuals in order to unleash their full potential. Then you have change, and then you have compensation management. If you look at recruiting, you have these different 6 steps that are traditional part of recruiting process. You have job analysis, you have marketing, you have capturing, screening, initial interviews, etc. You have selection with more interviews and reference checks, etc. Then you make your selection and you start onboarding. In TalEction, we have simplified this down to 3 steps. Initially, do a job analysis, and where we have a simplified wizard that helps in collecting the right differentiating information elements in order to succeed with the later screening and selection. Based on this wizard, you generate a recruitment project, you generate a job profile, and you also generate a marketing campaign. And then you just launch the marketing campaign. And on the marketing campaign, you have a call to action, which is applying for this job. And the job is then linked back to an automatically generated job or candidate landing page for this given job. And then the candidates are funneled into what is typically a set of activities they are expected to do, like, for example, register their basic information, do a pitch, upload their CV. They might be asked to do a personality test, an intelligence test, to do a few games, etc., etc., all configurable. And then based on these activities, the candidates are automatically categorized in the 4 groups as mentioned earlier: high potential, some risk, and high risk. And then you can drill down into details on this. And you can base yourself on the recommendations from the machine, or you can use it for assisted to assist you in the selection. And then all this data that are collected through the activities that candidates are going through can be used in effectively preparing the candidate for starting the position, starting the onboarding process, and also preparing the organization itself, the team that he's or he or she is coming into, in order to optimize and enable the talent of this candidate. Just a quick look at the technology behind this. This is a pure Microsoft Azure-based cloud solution built from bottom up on Azure Cloud. We are partners with Microsoft. This is a native cloud solution as mentioned. You see that this is microservices-based architecture, several layers from the SQL Server and JSON storage at the bottom up to communication layer out to the mobile and web interfaces. Strong encryption with SSL and GDPR native solution, responsive of course, and a lot of artificial intelligence and algorithms implemented as part of the platform. So that was a quick presentation. Now let's switch to a quick demo of the solution itself. Just a quick walkthrough to let you know how it looks like. So now I've signed into the solution as with an administrative account, which gives me access to all functionality. Different user roles have access to different functionalities, and then also this user interface will be also adapted to your needs. On the top you have invitations, you can provide feedback, you have context-specific help and exit to sign out. You can also search across all elements inside the solution. You can open and close the left menu, and then you can open more details on the menu to see the names of the different menu items. On the home page, you usually have an overview of the different actions that you can do on the solution. You can choose different filters in order to see the actions that are specifically interesting to you. And then you have some activity monitoring about on your account and the invitations that you have sent out, and the different profiles and projects that has been shared with you or that you have created yourself. Then you have the projects. You can view projects, you can create new projects, you can view the campaigns linked to the recruitment projects, for example, and also look at targets for the readiness projects. So let's look at one type of project just to make it brief. This is a recruitment project where you have 2 users that has applied for this job. You scroll down, you see some details. You have the link to the job profile, to the campaign page, and also to the landing page for the candidate. All these are automatically created based on the initial wizard. Here you have an overview of all the activities that for this given project the candidates are asked to do. Some statistics about the visitors for the landing page for the job. You also have the possibility just to simply ask the candidates to leave their contact information if they don't want to create a user and do the activities. And here you have an overview of all the candidates that has actually created a user and have started or have done the activities that have been requested from them. And here you see that the 2 candidates are one in some risk and one in high risk. And then you can just click on Run Project to see the actual scoring. So here you see the same 2 candidates. You see the details of this one candidate selected, which is some risk. And you see here the scoring algorithms applied for different algorithms on leadership, intelligence, culture, and core skills. You see the culture fit is 0 for this candidate, so that's something that you should drill into. While the intelligence is smack on, leadership is okay-ish, and core skills are also okay-ish. Below you see some more details, and you can also then click on profile details in order to drill down into the actual test scores and the actual profile of the different candidates. A lot of other different things you can also do here as part of the selection. You can create the one you want to hire for the job. You can create groups of candidates that you want to save for later, etc., etc. But let's go back to the main menu again. Looked at projects. Look at profiles. Here you have all the profiles that I've created myself, and also a couple that has been shared with me. And below you have all the information linked to that profile. Tests, games, of different types. You have the CV, etc., etc. With these profiles, you can run simulations. For example, the core simulation is based on the use of personality and fluid crystallized intelligence scores. And then it will, based on the profile I've selected my own profile here, you can see how it fits up with what type of team role would you typically take in a team, in a group, what type of leadership style is closest to your talent, what type of maturity should you aim for when choosing company, organization structures fits you, what kind of culture fits you best, strategy, etc., etc. And here you have details as to how your profile matches up with these different generic elements of a job. You can then go to look at specific jobs that you are simulating against. Here you see the most significant characteristics or elements that drive success at work or not. One of the strongest one is cognitive ability and consciousness. But also neuroticism and openness. These four are quite important when it comes to if this person is going to succeed or not. Cognitive ability for this profile is relatively low, so that's an issue. And also these others are medium low, so this is something you need to look into. And then you dive into more details as to what kind of jobs that will fit you. Different simulations, you can look at person, you can look at how future-proof you are, you can simulate against indexes if you are a founder or a salesperson profile, etc. You can also have something called the wizard, having a look at your task pattern. It can look at your games. If you run a lot of games on the platform, you can analyze your game patterns. Also the same when it comes to other elements of the platform itself. So here you see that the different results from the game's interpretations. And then below that you have access to tests. We have, let's see, close to 20 different type of tests. And here you have the categories, you have personality test, you have different type of assessments, including the cognitive flexibility, you have intelligence test, different type of company type surveys like organization culture. And below that you have the results. So if you see show all, you see all the tests, and below you see all the tests that you have actually done on these different test types. And here you can then just click at, let's see, big 5 here, for example, click on that. And then based on the results of that, you see how you scored on this particular test. Same for games. We have close to 20 different neuroscience-based games also on the platform that you have full access to, that you can also select different types of games here with this ledger. And then you can run the tests by either playing them without recording anything, or you can click on this in order to save the results of the game. So let's look at one of the games here, for example, this one. We can just run it in the play mode, not recording the results. So just click on True Color. Get some information about the game and start. And the purpose of this game is to see if you are able to read the name above and see if it corresponds to the color of the one below. So blue, but the below is orange. So this is not a match. It's written orange and the color is orange. Yes, this is a match. It's written purple and the color is purple. So this is also a match. Etc., etc. So this is one type of game that we use as data collector. And when you go back to the results, or the game results, it's a bit slow on my development platform. You can see we select True Color and see here I have a game run that I did close to half a year ago. reasonably good results here. Click on that and then you see details as to how to interpret the outcome and how that affects your profile. Let's look at this with some more runs. That wasn't the right one, so let's look at this attention game here. So let's click on that. And here you see when there are several games that I've run over time, you see the trend lines both on accuracy and speed. And then you have the results below that you can drill down to. Below that again, you have the job profile that are used, for example, in recruitment projects. And here you can look at the different ones, and they also consist, like the person profile, different elements. This wasn't too much populated, so let's click another one. This, for example, let's see if there are more elements here. Yeah, there are some more elements. You see the organization is a mixture of line and project organization. The team role you're looking for, resource investigator, plant or shaper. So a mixture of the three different roles. And you see the leadership style, etc., etc., value chain, and all these elements. And that's what we use for matching the candidates' person profiles with job profile. And that is basically how we do recruiting. You also have the possibility to define groups where you want to collect groups of talents for later on, for example. In this case, since I'm administrator, I also have access to account functionality. I'm not going to look at that. Everybody has, of course, access to your user to request actions from other users and some other configuration elements also. So that's kind of summarizes a quick walkthrough of the solution, the TalEction platform, and a short presentation as a start. So thanks for listening, and if you wonder about something about this, feel free to contact us at TalEction. Thank you.